Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with part 2 of what I'm calling the Adventure Journal Floating Envelope Insert. So it's going to go in between the signatures. This is going to be a 2-signature journal that is part of a swap, as I've mentioned before. I'm just swapping with just someone else, Luna Love actually, if you guys know her. She reached out to me and asked if I'd like to do a swap. So we decided on doing a green themed journal. So that's what we're going to do. So we did part 1 already, and we're going to come back and do the decorating. So I pulled out a piece of sari silk, and I'm going to be actually using this to tie the journal. But I think I'm just going to tie it afterwards because what I did off camera, as you probably saw when I did the voiceover for the last video, is I did go back and put actually the thumb notches, including in the cover. So I think it looks kind of weird to now put this on here, kind of like, well, I guess I could, I mean, I don't know. Because I was thinking that it's not going to be glued down. So I'm just going to tie it on afterwards. And I think I'll probably iron it because it's pretty narrow. So I may iron that out. So let's get going without any further ado. So I've already pulled all of my bits for this, as I don't like to have to dig while I'm trying to do this for you guys. So I have all my papers, and we're going to be using some of the bits from the collage masterboard that we did, using all the green themed scraps that I had, as well as some digitals from my Porch Prints Shabby Green kit. So we're going to be doing that. So I'm going to hopefully keep all this straight. So this is the inside front cover. This is the front cover. So let's start with that. Actually, I need to take everything out because it's going to be really hard to work on. So I just have all of my bits here. So let's see. Hopefully I will remember. That's always the struggle, is remembering what I was planning when I get back to this. So let's go ahead and start. Actually, yeah, let's start with the front. So I just pulled, this is actually just an offcut of a yard of muslin that I purchased, and I like it. So we're going to go ahead and use that as the base. It's all kind of, you know, loose and goosey, loosey-goosey and frayed, and I love that. So we're going to use that. And then I picked this quote, "Do you suppose she's a wildflower?" And I just thought it went really well with that. So we have that. And then I also picked a piece of sari silk, but I did not iron this sari silk. I'm going to still try to put it down and just let it kind of crinkle and roll a little bit. So it's just going to go down here on the bottom, kind of in between this writing, this German writing. I believe that's German, if my education serves me. So I'm going to try to open this up, see what we get, see if it'll lay down. That's the tricky part. I don't mind if it sticks up, you know, because that's kind of, that curling effect is kind of nice, like that. And then we'll put this on top and try to get it to lay somewhat as well. So I'm just going to dot this with some Fabri-Tac here. I am using Fabri-Tac because I am gluing fabric. Use the glue of your choice though, for sure. So I'm going to just try to get this in here and try to roll that back so that we can see some of that green. Because that would be a shame if we couldn't actually see it when we're done. With Fabri-Tac, you do have some time. So I'm just reaching under there and pulling that out as best I can. I love that. I think it might be a little bit long. Perhaps not. I need to get a baby wipe, if I can find them here. There we go. So I love that. I just love that. The sari silk wasn't quite, was it long enough? Maybe it was. And then we're going to go ahead and glue this on. It doesn't need to be inked because it's already got a nice dark border there. And I honestly could not tell you where I got this quote because I put them all together in a drawer. And so unless I bump into them in my files, I really don't know who they are. If you really want to know, I can find out, but let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. So simple little bit on the front. I love that. So let's go ahead and move to the center here. So I decided to go ahead and use the belly band. This is the one that we made on camera on the Collage Master board, as I mentioned. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue that on here, just gluing at the top and the bottom. And I'm not going to decorate this because I love it just the way that it is. I don't think it needs anything further. So I might decide to come back and do something later. We'll see before I send it out. But I'm going to use my art glitter glue in the big bottle, putting my pins up on my shelf because I think I'm throwing them away with my trash. So I thought I better get in the practice of putting them in a safe place, because suddenly I was missing some and I'm like, what the heck? And so I had to purchase some more, and they need to be stainless steel, otherwise they will rust, as I've experienced that. So I did purchase some more so that I have them on hand. So I'm just attaching that at the top and the bottom, as I mentioned, like so. And then we've got, I'm just going to set this aside for a second because we've got a little bit of embellishing to do here on this tag. So again, this was a tag from the masterboard. I just love that adventure, the camera and the backpack. I think it's just adorable. So we're going to go ahead and adhere. This is just a scrap that I did a long time ago, I think when I was doing my Bohemian Beauty journal. So I thought we would use that as a little pull on this. Kind of cool. And today is Super Bowl Sunday. My husband and I are up in the air about whether or not we're going to waste our time watching the game. The weather is absolutely astonishingly beautiful today here in the Pacific Northwest in Washington State. So he's outside working in the yard and prepping the garden, and I'm in the studio. I was fussing around doing some organizing, and then I thought I would go ahead and record this video and just get it out of the way. So, and I'm filming ahead, so who knows when this is actually going to air. I certainly don't. So we're going to embellish this a little bit down here. Oh, maybe we want to embellish it over those polka dots. I think so. I changed my mind. I don't want that to be too thick then. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up a little bit. All of these bits. I will come back with you in a second. Okay, so I wanted to show you this because I love this little quote. It was just in my scraps, and I'm like, it's so perfect. I am the happiest girl. It actually said in Japan, but I didn't really think it fit the journal, so I went ahead and took that off. But we're going to go ahead and just do a little cluster here. You guys have seen me do that before. So we're just going to get some art glitter glue on here. And then we've got this Untamed. I thought that was perfect for this journal and this adventure. At least that's what I believe I'm going to name it. We're just going to put that right there. I know it kind of looks weird with words on, words on words, but maybe if I separate it a little bit with that border. So that's what that looks like. So that is that. So this little baby is going to slide in here. Right here. Should be okay to slide that in. Maybe. Hope our tag isn't too tall now that we put the thing on it. Yeah, there we go. Come on. Things are always tight when you first glue, so that should loosen up as well. So I'm going to grab my ruler, excuse my body, and just kind of make some room here. That often if you use a lot of glue, it'll ooze further than you wanted it to, creating kind of an issue there. So there we go. So on this one, we were just going to do a little bit of a decoration here. Got a little bit more sari silk. Let me just go ahead and trim this. This is way too big. And I just have a little piece of that. This is that stitching paper that I use that I like. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that. We do have things in the pockets. I just left them in there so I wouldn't lose track of what I was trying to do. So, and then we've got this perfect piece. I thought that also fit for this journal, as it is an adventure journal, and it's always nice to explore and be out in the outdoors and, you know, being connected with the beauty that is out there for all of us. So let's see what we are going to do with this sari silk, though. It's very, very wrinkled. I was going to iron it and then I forgot. So I think we'll put the sari silk down first. Hopefully it'll sort of stick. So we're just going to put that embellishment down here towards the bottom. I'm just going to try to get quite a bit there so that I can kind of manipulate this a little bit. I don't want it to be completely ironed either, though, so who wants it to be too perfect, right? And then we'll put this on here somewhere. Just kind of like so. That kind of looks weird. Shall we put the stitching underneath here? We've got time to move it. I'm just not caring for that. I like that better. Yeah. I don't think that's enough, though. Let me get a little bit of glue under here. There we go. And let's see if we can get this little bit of, I think this is actually too big, I think is part of the problem here for me. So I'm going to trim that down really quick. A little bit lower profile here. This one I do know is from Raindrop Lila on Etsy. You can check her out. I think it's called her Patience Words. Oh, I really love that. I love the simplicity of that. I think I'd like to put something right there too, just to kind of accent that. But I'll probably do that off camera and you guys can just see it at the end in the close-up photos. Just don't want to waste your time, but I'm thinking about kind of sliding that over and then putting something right there. Sorry, that's all crooked. So inside of here, we've got a couple of things. So I have a piece of paper and I have this butterfly that I cut out of the, this is the digitals from Cotton and Twig that I mentioned in the other video. I will link this shop in the video description. I do want to put a tab on here. Maybe we'll just use this piece of sari silk just to create a little bit of a tab here. Just a little bit of interest. Like so, maybe. Yeah, let me just shift that a little bit. I don't want to get it all gluey. I think that might be a little bit long, so I'm going to trim it a bit. It's my favorite, one of my favorite things, just to use a little bit of fabric or lace to make a pull or a topper on a journal card or tag. So I thought I reached for a paper towel. Hold on, guys. Let's give that a press. And over here too. I don't know if that dries clear. We'll see. I like that though. It's kind of rough. Actually, I'm going to reach behind me. Oh, actually, I moved them this morning. So I have a bunch of like pieces of that stitching paper and stuff in this little tin. So I thought maybe I'd pull and see if I have something that might work here. So let's see what we've got here. We don't need much. It's very small. It's a little bit crooked. So do you guys watch the Super Bowl? Is that your thing? It's not my thing at all. Never has been. I mean, if my family's watching it, like my kids and grandkids, one of my daughters, they love watching football. So If we're over there hanging out, we might watch, but we don't generally do it at home. My husband said he might come in and watch the game. So what I did is I had all these buttons in like, and I had all the buttons in here, and it was so hard to get them out. So that's what I was doing this morning. I thought I need a wider space here so that I can kind of do this and kind of sift through these and find the perfect button, like right there, right there. So we're going to put this button on here too. There we go. And it can stick out. We won't put any of these things in because we don't want to affect the pocket, obviously. So I am going to ink this really quick, and I'll be right back with you. And I'm not going to put this in because that is still tacky. Is it still tacky? Yeah. So that's going to go in this pocket, and it's just going to stick out. Let me just show you what I mean. It's going to stick out like that, which is going to be really pretty and really kind of, what's the word I'm looking? Natural, I guess. So in this pocket, on this envelope front, I'm going to use one of these clusters. This is a cluster that I made some time ago. It's just in my stash, just for such a time as this. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it on the two sides, and it can be a tuck spot, even though I probably won't put anything in it at the moment. I am going to use Fabri-Tac to adhere this to the paper on two sides. And I don't really care for that, so I didn't mind kind of sacrificing it for this pocket. So the butterfly's a little bit weird and off, but that's okay. All the things in the journal don't have to match. At least that's what I try to tell myself. I'm a matchy girl, so it's hard for me. So in here, we've got a couple of bits too. So I just cut this from, this is from my Pink Monarch prints, and I just made a little journaling card out of it. So I'm going to ink these two bits, and I'll be right back, and then we'll talk about what's next. There we go. My thing is getting very crumbly, so I'm going to just go ahead and change that now while I'm thinking about it. Otherwise, I forget. So I moved the drawer, so now I have to find them. I'm going to try the domed ones since I bought them. I'm not a big fan, but they don't hold up any better than the other ones. So I do want a little bit of stuff on here. So I don't think I pulled any lace bits, so I'm just going to pull some scraps from my drawer here of some lace that might go. This is a piece of vintage lace. I actually used the bigger part of this on a journal, which is really pretty. So I think this will go great here, just as a pull. Yes. Awesome. Easy. Oh, we do want to make sure we're going the right way because it's going to stick in here. Oh, I have to make sure it's not too big though. So this is the only space I have for that to stick out. So I'm not going to be able to have that tab be very long. So we'll probably trim it up a little bit here. So I'm just going to put that in place. Let me just scooch that out of the way for a sec. Like so. Oh, I know what I want to put there too. I already know. Don't you love it when that happens? When you remember the supplies that you have and you can just go and pull it. I've got these little button things and I just love the colors. I think they would be really pretty on here. So we will attach that there in a second. So again, though, we can't have this be too long or stick out too far. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut it here. Like so. Purdy. Okay. Not a very big pull, but that's all right. It's still beautiful. And then let's put one of these on. So I think I'd like to bring out the black in this design here. So I think we'll use the black one. I don't trust the adhesive, so I am going to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on here, just directly on that fabric, or that lace rather. I think it's a crocheted something. I don't remember what it was. It came just like in a strip, you know, it wasn't a cut off of anything. So there we go. So there's one journaling card. Absolutely adorable. This will be blank in here. I'll show you that here in a second. I'm going to set that aside too, so I don't want to get that yucky. So this one, we need to put some kind of a topper on here as well. So I just ran across this, this is the part of the outside binding of the Heidi book that I just now took the pages out of the book because it's literally falling apart. So so I pulled this out and I decided I would use it for something like this. I think it would be beautiful, like right here, just like, not like that though. How do we want to do that? It would be weird to say, have it be like that. Maybe we'll make a cluster on here really quick and use it there, except it's awfully big. Maybe we won't use that today. I don't want to get too off the beaten path. How about we use this for a topper, or a pull rather. I'm just going to trim it up so it's even. It is kind of going the wrong way, but I do that all the time. Nobody's going to know. We're just going to put it on there like that. Or we could, yeah, it's not quite wide enough for anything different. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere it here, kind of mostly in the middle. If you can manage that, that's a good idea. So I'm just going to put that there. I'm just going to press it with my paper towel, get it to set there. And then I'm going to turn it over and do the same. There we go. There we go. So, do we want to put something on there too? Do we have a button or something that could go? We could tie in some of that, some of the other stuff here with a button. This is an adhesive button. Actually, really like this one. It's kind of big though. I don't want that to be too bulky, so I'm just fishing in my little, you know, my button container here. I think I like that one. It's kind of a purple tone. I think it's a nice complement. Like so. And then hopefully this is not going to stick. Oh, hopefully this one's not going to stick out too much. It's going to have to line up right with that notch this button is, otherwise it's not going to fit. But I'll show you guys that at the end. That's got to sit for a while. It's not sticking at all. Did I not get enough? I'm not very patient. That is the truth. I'm just going to leave that like that for now. And again, just going to let that dry a bit. So let's see what's next. So we've got that one. Oh, I think we should probably be able to put this one in here now. Just going to slide that in there. And then just kind of have that button sitting out like that. Perfect. And then we've got our cluster that can be a tuck, and then those bits are going to go in this pocket. So then we have this piece here, really simple decoration here, and some simple things to tuck in. Just inking that up really quick. I think I already inked up the big pieces. Oh, I didn't get this piece though. This is just the other piece of that same paper that I just did for the other pocket. Just using it up rather than putting it in my scrap bin. That was another thing that I changed, is I moved my little scraps to a better place so that I could really find them, grab them easily without kind of having to move stuff and all of that. So I may ink this up a little bit more off camera, but for you guys it's good enough. So that's going to stick in here. This has its opening at the bottom like so. And then we just have this little journaling card. This is from Pink Monarch Prints as well. I believe it's her layered tag kit, if I remember right. So that's just going to slide in there. It is white on the back. Usually I do print on the back of these, but for some reason I had not on those. And I thought, you know, I'm going to leave it. It's no big deal. So we've got this little remember, so I thought we could put something under that, though I didn't grab a piece of lace, just to kind of give that a little bit of a little oomph like that. Just something simple, doesn't have to be grand. So I'm gonna put it off to this side here. Like so. Put our label on. This is also from Pink Monarch Prints. Yeah, just enough. There we go. So that's going to flip up. So this is the page that I put in off camera because I didn't have a piece that was tall enough this way, just that wasn't printed when I was on camera the last time. So I just did that when I was done. So that's just going to flip down there. Actually, this one flips in, this one flips down, this one flips over, down, over. So let's finish these last pieces and then we will be done. So I just took, I didn't even use my die cut machine. I just used the shape of the die, the heart die in this set. And I went ahead and just cut a heart. I thought that was really cute. This though, I do want to back with a piece of coffee dyed paper because when it shows, it looks kind of weird. So let me grab a scrap really quick. See if I've got something just right handy here that I can back that with. Hopefully I have one that's big enough for that bit. Hold on, sorry guys. Thankfully it's like right here though. I don't have to get up. Lazy me. Is this big enough? Oh, not quite. Okay, hold on. I may have to go to the bigger scrap bin. I can't keep everything right by me, unfortunately. But it's going to work better than it was. I think this one should be big enough. Yes, this will be big enough. Okay, so let's go ahead and just glue this down really quick. There we go. So both of those are going to go in here. So I think I'm just going to put it like this. This one's going to go in this way. And this one is going to go in the opposite so that it's pretty like that. And it looks nice from that side. So the only thing we have left to do is just put a little bit of embellishment on this pocket and then we are done. So I've just got some little cluster bits here. That's a big piece of sari silk, or that sari silk, but I guess it'll work. So let's go ahead and ink this up a little bit. I'm going to speed through this process. You guys have seen me do clusters before. I don't know where this dream was supposed to go. I don't know where that was supposed to go. Maybe it was an extra. Maybe we'll just put it on here because it is extra. So let's go ahead and just glue that on here. It goes with it because it's actually made, it's actually the same kit. So that'll work fine. I'm just going to put it right here, kind of towards the bottom. Perfect. There we go. So we're going to build our little cluster here. So I'm just going to, I've got a piece of this. This is that 3D masking paper that you guys have seen me use. Pretty nifty. I actually can run it through my printer. And it doesn't even have to be taped on paper. It will go through my printer. Through the top feed. I have a top feed on mine. So I don't know how that works if you've, oh, I cannot move that at all. I was going to try to move it up a little bit, but that's not going to work. So let's go ahead and get that on there first. And, will this come up? I think I've actually pulled this up before successfully, so I am going to try to do that. I'm going to try to put this underneath it. I'm just grabbing for whatever glue is closest, I guess, here. Oh my goodness. Not a very well laid out plan here on this one. That's okay. Oh, I like that though. That was worth the struggle. And even though it's wrinkling that paper, that's fine. It's not going to show. And that way I can see both of those elements, which I love. So I'm sorry that's off camera, guys. Goodness gracious. I'm going to put the Sari Silk bit here, like so we can see both the masking paper and the alphabet. And then we've got this, just you wait. Did you guys ever hear that from your parents, like from your mom? Just you wait until your father gets home. Yeah, that's not what I mean. This is a good expectation. Just you wait for that wonderful thing to happen. Just you wait for that adventure. Just you wait for that blessing. That's where my mind goes with that. So there we go, guys. We are done. Let's just go ahead and stick those other pieces in this envelope, and then we will say goodbye until next time. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope that you're enjoying. Very, very excited to actually start the construction on this journal. I need to message Luna and let her know that I have not forgotten her. It's just been such a crazy time, and I've been working on it, just not working on it as fast as I would like to. This is going to have to go the other way so that the buttons don't bump into each other. So I'm just going to put it on the other side here, which will be fine. And then it can kind of be there. So isn't that cool? And then nothing on here. So, you know, a person could put some paper on here to write on, totally fine. So the way this folds is it's going to go like this, then like this, 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 and this. And let's go ahead and tie the Sari Silk on as well. I'm going to ink this up. For some reason it's looking a little bit too clean. There we go. And then it's going to, I actually said this was going to be this is going to be an independent piece. So it's going to be a floating envelope insert. So I am going to need to put a piece of paper on the back of this. I changed my mind about what I was doing there. So you can see it is fairly bulky, but because we allow that room in the journal, I leave some extra space. It's going to be fine. So let me go ahead and tie the Sari Silk on just so you can see what that will look like. I'm going to tie it on so that it kind of ties to the front. You could totally tie it to the side, whatever you want. Like so. And then I'll probably put a dangle or something on one of these. That's really long, but just so you get the idea, that's what it's going to look like. So thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.